DIXI.com Podcasts.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 200th episode of InvestorIdeas.com Podcasts, where we've looked at cannabis news, stocks to watch, as well as insights from thought leaders and experts. As this is our 200th episode, we'd like to thank all of our interview guests who have come on before, and of course you, the listeners, for sticking around this long. As we've reached this milestone, I'm happy to announce that we'll soon be adding new features such as product reviews and video interviews, along with our continued daily announcements and interviews. If you're working in the cannabis industry, no matter how big or small the role, please get in touch with us so we can help share your story and give our audience more ideas worth investing in. So let's look at today's announcements. We're looking at VIVO Cannabis Incorporated, trading on the TSX Venture as VIVO and the OTCQB as VVCIF. DIXI Brands Incorporated, trading on the CSE as DIXI.U and the OTC as DXBRF. Aurora Cannabis Incorporated, trading on the New York Stock Exchange and TSX as ACB. Valens Growworks Corporation, trading on the CSE as VGW and the OTC as VGWCF. Cannabis One Holdings Incorporated, trading on the CSE as CBIS, and MYM Nutraceuticals Incorporated, trading on the CSE as MYM and the OTC as MYMMF. So first looking at VIVO Cannabis Incorporated, who today announced that its wholly owned subsidiary Cannafarms Limited has received local municipal approval for its Phase 5 expansion, which will add an incremental 2,500 kilograms of indoor capacity to its facility in Hope, BC. Cannafarms' Phase 5 expansion, originally slated to begin construction in 2020, is now expected to be completed in late 2019 or early 2020, pending regulatory approval. The expansion consists of 10,000 square feet of cultivation space, which is expected capital costs of $3.5 million. They're expected to bring VIVO's total internal production capacity to 13,500 kilograms by early 2020. Cannafarms is a cultivator and a purveyor of premium quality, award-winning small batch craft cannabis, with widespread recognition and appeal, as evidenced by its award for Top Reviewed Licensed Producer of the Year at the 2018 Canadian Cannabis Awards, said Barry Fishman, Chief Executive Officer of VIVO. This expansion will further increase Cannafarms' production capacity to help meet this significant market demand for premium BC dry bud. This project represents a strategic deployment and a minor portion of our strong cash position as the company continues to invest to drive future growth. Next, looking at DIXI Brands, one of cannabis industry's leading packaged goods companies, who today announced a partnership with Founder Made to exclusively host the Future of CBD and Cannabis Lounge at the Founder Made Discovery Show in New York this coming June. Renowned for creating an environment where bold, innovative, life-changing products can thrive, the Founder Made Discovery Show is a summit for next-generation companies to showcase groundbreaking products to key industry players. A pioneer in the category for the past 10 years, DIXI's Future and CBD of Cannabis Lounge will champion the cannabis plant and spotlight the industry as it emerges from prohibition and enters the mainstream. As part of the showcase, DIXI will provide hands-on experience and educate attendees on its full portfolio of THC and CBD-infused products, including hemp-derived CBD cosmeceutical brand Quita, that's developed to bring the benefits of CBD to a comprehensive portfolio of skin and body care products for women. Once approved by the regulatory authorities, Quita will be launched statewide via an exclusive distribution partnership between DIXI and Chiron Life Sciences, subject to TSX approval. At the Future of CBD and Cannabis Lounge, in addition to learning about DIXI's robust portfolio of DIXI brands, THC, and CBD-infused products, event attendees will also have the opportunity to engage with Acesso Hemp, DIXI's growing line of indication-specific hemp-derived supplements that promote optimal health. As one of the first entrants in the category, Acesso Hemp brings a deep understanding of the industry's complex regulatory structure and expertise in the production of safe, effective, and compliant products that can be sold across the U.S. Next, looking at Aurora Cannabis Incorporated, who announced that the company has signed a binding share purchase agreement whereby Aurora has acquired all of the issued and outstanding common shares of privately held Chemi Pharmaceutical Incorporated, an Ontario-based laboratory specialized in providing high-quality analytics services to the pharmaceutical and cannabis industries. In a cash and share transaction comprised of an undisclosed cash payment and a share consideration of 83,299 shares paid on closing and 41,649 payable upon achievement of certain Chemi milestones. Chemi has a Health Canada drug establishment license enabling them to perform certified GMP compliant quality control analytical testing. In addition, Chemi has received US FDA accreditation for their facility, which is the gold standard for global pharmaceutical testing. Acquiring Chemi with their drug establishment license provides a critical prerequisite for applying for a cannabis drug license, which was required for the development of cannabis therapies within the global medical cannabis market. Strategically located adjacent to Pearson Airport in Mississauga, Ontario, ChemMe provides specialized cannabis testing across a broad set of parameters, including cannabinoid and terpene content. ChemMe will be integrated into the company's wholly owned subsidiary, Anandia Laboratories Incorporated, which is expanding Anandia's leading analytics capabilities to meet client demand and diversifying its specialized testing services for both the medical and the upcoming edible and derivatives markets. Following the acquisition of Anandia in August 2018, Aurora integrated Anandia's plant science operations in the company's broader science team, enabling Anandia to maintain independence as an analytical service provider, with its operations run at arm's length to ensure client confidentiality. As the Canadian cannabis industry matures, the cultivation and processing operations of licensed producers, including Aurora, have developed rapidly to meet the growing demand from medical patients and consumers alike. Expanding Anandia's analytical testing footprint will enable it to service a broader base of domestic and international clients, while ensuring continued timeline and quality of its testing services for existing clients. Next, looking at Valens GrowWorks Corporation, a multi-licensed, vertically integrated provider of cannabis products and services that's focused on various proprietary extraction methodologies, distillation, cannabinoid isolation, and purification, as well as associated quality testing, announced that it's entered into an arm's-length binding multi-year extraction service agreement to provide cannabis and hemp extraction services to Hexo Corporation, which trades on the TSX and New York Stock Exchange as Hexo, a leading cannabis producer and consumer packaged goods cannabis company. The agreement has an initial 2-year term from the date of the first shipment, with Hexo supplying Valens with an annual minimum of 30,000 kilograms in the first year and 50,000 kilograms in the second year of cannabis and hemp biomass. Valens will process this material on a fee-for-service basis into premium quality resins and distillates using the company's leading proprietary extraction processing methods. The agreement contains provisions under which it may be terminated within 90 days written notice after the 1-year anniversary. Valens expects to receive and begin processing the first shipment from Hexo early in the third quarter of 2019 and currently holds all required licensing from Health Canada to carry out its obligations under the agreement. Next, looking at Cannabis One Holdings Incorporated, an emerging premier house of brands in North America, who announced that it's entered into a letter agreement with Colorado-based cannabis industry consulting firm Hitachi Advisory Group LLC to pursue acquisitions related to a suite of portfolio assets related to cannabis retail, cultivation, and manufacturing operations from certain entities advised by Hitachi. On execution of the agreement, Jeffrey Mascio, CEO of Cannabis One, stated that we believe this new partnership with Hitachi will provide CBIS with a profound opportunity to explore the acquisition of a series of accretive transactions designed to rapidly expand our cannabis-related infrastructure. Mr. Mascio continued that we believe that Neil Demers and his team of Hitachi have identified a host of attractive assets for Cannabis One to consider, and we look forward to evaluating each opportunity independently on its merits, but with the express intention of moving forwards a definitive agreement with each party as quickly as may be practicable. Lastly, we look at MYM Nutraceuticals Incorporated, who announced the formation of a Nevada company, MYM One World LLC, to facilitate the joint multi-year cooperative agreement between MYM and Aqueous Sciences, a subsidiary of One World Ventures Incorporated. The company's mandate is to cultivate, extract, and distribute 3,000 acres of hemp on Navajo Nation land located near the Four Corners area of Colorado, Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico, USA. The purpose of organizing a new company to cultivate, extract, and distribute hemp is so each corporation will own 50%. MYM and Aqueous also plan to extend their activities to include the extraction, manufacture, and distribution of hemp-based products that will comply with Navajo Nation, USDA, FDA, and FTC regulations and requirements. Our partnership with Aqueous to cultivate 3,000 acres of CBD-rich hemp has taken another step forward today with the formation of MYM One World LLC, said Howard Steinberg, CEO of MYM. Our team is currently preparing in the fields for the 2019 growing season, and we're looking forward to exceeding the results of last year's test crop that was successful in growing an abundance of CBD-rich hemp. Lastly, if you happen to be in the Toronto area, Cannabis, Canada's leading business-focused cannabis business conference and expo, kicks off today at Toronto's International Centre with a powerful opening keynote from rocker-turned-cannabis advocate Henry Rollins. Below is a link where you can find the information about the Cannabis conference and expo. Tune in tomorrow for more cannabis news, as well as a special piece on 420 and my interview with Duma Wenshu, co-founder and CEO of Province Brands, where we discuss cannabis beverages and what we can expect to see regarding regulations in Canada coming this October. Investor Ideas also wishes to mention that starting next week, we will be starting our Clean Tech and Climate Change podcast to help bring more ideas worth investing in.
That's all for today's podcast. Podcast is now a certified word trademark on the blockchain through Cognate Incorporated CM certification. InvestorIdeas.com podcasts are also available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and TuneIn. If you'd like to be a guest or sponsor of this podcast, please contact InvestorIdeas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website, and this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded that all investments involve risk and possible loss of investment. Investor Ideas does not condone the use of cannabis except where permissible by law. Our site does not possess, distribute, or sell cannabis products.